did appear that I'd actually used the word I was trying to obscure.
Mexican car's just going to be a lazy, feckless, flatulent open.
Change gear, change gear, change gear, check your mirrors, murder a prostitute, change gear, murder, check your... That's a lot of effort in a day. These are from our garden, I've no idea what they are. That's disgusting. Those are potatoes, they're very... I'm not sure we're very good at fist bumping.
Number 6, the N-word. All right, let's talk about the big uncomfortable elephant in the room, the N-word. Yep, that one. You know, the one that's loaded with history, pain, and controversy. A popular TV show, Cars, and a presenter faced with a tough decision. Enter Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear, a guy known for his wit and sometimes controversial humor. During filming, he finds himself in a pickle, trying to choose between two cars. What does he do? He starts reciting the classic nursery rhyme, "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo," to make his decision. Seems innocent enough, right? Well, not quite. Turns out, in the midst of mumbling through the rhyme, Clarkson inadvertently let slip the N-word. Yep, you heard that right. Not exactly what you'd expect from a mainstream TV personality. The incident stayed under wraps until the Daily Mirror blew the lid off it in 2014. Clarkson's initial response? Deny, deny, deny. Classic move, but not a great one in this case. Eventually, he had to face the music and own up to what happened.
A couple of years ago, I recorded an item for Top Gear in which I quoted the rhyme "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." It did appear that I'd actually used the word I was trying to obscure production office, and it says, I didn't use the N-word here, but I've just listened through my headphones and it sounds like I did. That I'm sitting here begging your forgiveness for the fact that obviously my efforts weren't quite good enough.
In a video apology, because let's face it, that's how things roll these days, he came clean. He admitted to mumbling where the offensive word would normally pop up in the rhyme, thinking he could get away with it. But upon reviewing the footage, he couldn't hide from the truth. He slipped up, plain and simple. Now, did he mean to drop the N-word? According to him, heck no. He swears he did everything in his power to avoid it. But intentions aside, the damage was done. The incident sparked outrage, debates, and plenty of soul-searching about language, race, and responsibility. So what's the takeaway from this messy ordeal? Well, for starters, words matter. Even if you don't mean harm, what you say can have serious consequences. And when you mess it up, own it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just take responsibility, learn from it, and strive to do better.
Ordinarily, I don't respond to newspaper allegations, but on this occasion, I feel I must make an exception. In 2, I mumbled where the offensive word would normally occur, and in the 3rd, I replaced it altogether. Now, of course, I was well aware that in the best-known version of this rhyme, there is a racist expression that I realized that in one of the mumbled versions, if you listen very carefully with the sound turned right up.
Number 5, Mexico jokes. Let's dive into the Top Gear drama once again, but this time with a spicy twist from Mexico. It wasn't actually Jeremy Clarkson who stirred the pot this time. It was his buddy Richard Hammond, who decided to drop some not-so-nice comments about the fine folks south of the border. Hammond described Mexicans as lazy, feckless, flatulent oafs. Ouch. Talk about throwing some shade. And if that wasn't enough, James May chimed in calling their food refried sick. Yikes, that's harsh. But hey, they eventually realized they messed up big time.
Why would you want a Mexican car? Because cars reflect national characteristics, don't they? So German cars, Mexican cars just going to be a lazy, feckless, flatulent open.
It's interesting because they can't do food, the Mexicans, can they? Because it's all like sick with cheese on it.
Sorry, but just imagine waking up and remembering you're Mexican.
Clarkson admitted they got it wrong and decided to make amends. How, you ask? Well, they did what any self-respecting Brits would do. They went straight to the Mexican ambassador and apologized. And get this, they didn't just say sorry and call it a day. Oh no, they went all out and got absolutely plastered on tequila with him. Now that's what I call making amends in style. Clarkson later confessed to the Radio Times magazine that the whole Mexican debacle was definitely a low point for them. But hey, at least they owned up to it and tried to make things right in the end. And let's be real, Any day that involves tequila with the ambassador is bound to be a good one. Am I right? Cheers to that. And let's hope they learn their lesson about poking fun at entire nations.
That's why we're not going to get any complaints about this, because the Mexican embassy, the ambassador's going to be sitting there with a remote control like this.
Asleep, looking at a cactus with a blanket with a hole in the middle on as a coat. Ours are very well built and ruthlessly efficient. Italian cars are a bit flamboyant and quick.
That'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant because you could just go straight back to sleep again. Oh, I'm a Mexican.
Number 4. Argentina Incident. The infamous Argentina incident from Top Gear. A real roller coaster ride of controversy. Jeremy Clarkson and the gang are off filming a special in Argentina, minding their own business when suddenly all hell breaks loose. It all started innocently enough with Clarkson cruising around in a Porsche, but then eagle-eyed folks in Argentina spotted something that set off alarms. The license plate, H982FKL.
It is true of any number plate you choose because they are all unique. That is the point of a number plate.
But this one was...
Jeremy wanted a 928 GT. It's a car he's very keen on and has been for a long time, but he wanted the manual, which is a very rare car.
The chances of coincidentally buying a car with that registration to take to Argentina, 13 million to 1.
In actual fact, because they all wear the registration numbers they've had from new, and there's nothing you can really do about that.
Now, to most of us, that might just look like a random jumble of letters and numbers, but to some in Argentina, it looked suspiciously like a nod to the 1982 Falklands War between Argentina and the UK. Cue the outrage. Protesters hit the streets, threats flew, and the Top Gear crew found themselves in hot water quicker than you can say controversy. Things got so intense that they had to pack up and skedaddle out of there faster than you can say Jeremy's next one-liner. Now here's the kicker. Clarkson insisted it was all a big misunderstanding. The license plate was never meant to stir up trouble. It was just a coincidence. And you know what? James May backed him up, confirming that it was all blown out of proportion. As May put it, you have to want to see the meaning.
Yeah, but it's actually meaningless if you look at it. You have to want to see the meaning. Making a program about Argentina specifically, we're making a program about Patagonia, which is Argentina and Chile.
Yeah.
That. Now, the issue with the number plate, we didn't spot. I mean, I didn't spot it, and I do crosswords. All have their original registrations. There's nothing actually to say that any of them are in any way contentious. And until now, we haven't really spoken about the details of the number plate thing.
In the end, Clarkson did the right thing and owned up to the mistake, offering a heartfelt apology to smooth things over. But talk about a wild ride. It just goes to show how a simple license plate can cause a whole lot of chaos when taken out of context. Let's hope they learn to double-check their license plates before hitting the road next time. Number 3. Insulting truck drivers. A day in the life of a lorry driver can be grueling, with long hours on the road and constant attention to detail. But when Jeremy Clarkson, infamous for his witty banter, stepped into the world of truck driving on Top Gear, he stirred up quite the storm.
Because this is a hard job, and I'm not just saying this to win favour with lorry drivers, it's a hard job. Can't it just be...
Somebody get a move on it there. If I have to start from the beginning of my gears again, I'll kill myself.
Change gear, change gear, change gear, check your mirrors, murder a prostitute, change gear, murder, check your... That's a lot of effort in a day.
His off-the-cuff remark about slaying a body worker while listing the tasks of a lorry driver sparked over 300 complaints to the BBC. Despite the uproar, it remains one of the show's most memorable, albeit controversial, moments, showcasing Clarkson's knack for pushing boundaries and eliciting both laughter and outrage. Number 2. Homo Jeeps. The Columbia special on Top Gear, where the adventure was high, but so was the drama. Jeremy Clarkson, ever the controversial figure, chose a Jeep Wrangler for his journey through the stunning country. But his co-presenters weren't exactly thrilled, poking fun at the off-roader being dubbed a gay icon. Enter singer Will Young, who took to Twitter to express his outrage. He called the jokes pathetic and homophobic, slamming the show and its creators for perpetuating stereotypes. Clarkson, never one to back down, fired back in his trademark style with a column that had everyone talking. He brushed off the criticism, citing feedback from both gay and left-leaning friends who didn't see the fuss.
Could you give me a tow? Because I'm very close to coming out.
Well, we know
Yes,
that. You've
no,
brought a
that's-
Jeep. Oh, I see.
Am I at my mouth now? You've got some reference.
No, it's great. It's good. All friends.
Go, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
I'm not sure we're very good at fist bumping.
In classic Clarkson fashion, he even tossed in a cheeky comment about enjoying certain online content featuring lesbians. In the end, Clarkson offered a half-hearted apology to Young for any upset caused, but made it clear he wasn't about to change his ways. And that, my friends, is Jeremy Clarkson for you, stirring the pot, ruffling feathers, and always ready with a witty comeback. Number 1, Farm Battle. It sounds like Jeremy Clarkson's venture into farming with Diddly Squat Farm has hit some major bumps along the way. Despite his enthusiasm, Clarkson has found himself at odds with the local council and residents of Chadlington and nearby areas.
Coffee, eggs, those are duck eggs. Eggs over there, they were picked this morning from the back end killing orangutan if you eat that, cook with that, and that's made from rape on our farm. And then these, I don't know what they are. No idea. These are from our garden, I have no idea what they are. That's disgusting. Those are potatoes, they're very...
The council has been cracking down on Clarkson's farm, citing numerous breaches of planning regulations. They've urged him to halt certain activities and make changes to comply with the law. This has included alterations to the farm shop's roof and the closure of his makeshift restaurant. In response, the council released a statement expressing frustration with Clarkson's continued disregard for planning permissions and the impact it's had on the community. Despite efforts to work with him and his team, Clarkson's farm continues to operate outside the bounds of what's allowed, causing disruption for locals. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.